How's everybody doing today? Today I just wanted to do a quick video on menus and timers, two things that are actually very easy to use. If you want to add menus to your project, all you have to do is go down and grab a menu strip object, and I drag it up. You can drop it off anywhere in your form. It doesn't matter, because what happens, it's going to appear down here. All you have to do is just type in the menu items that you want. I'm going to go ahead and type in a few of them. I'm going to use my menus to navigate forms, so my main menu heading is navigate forms, and I've got go to form 2, go to form 3. So if I click off this, I see my menu items are there. If I run my project, see I've got my menu item. I can click on it, go to form 2, go to form 3. I mean, right now nothing happens because I haven't put any code behind these menus. To put code behind a menu item, it's just like you would with a button. I go and I find it. Here's my go to form 2. So I double click on it and I get a private sub. So now I can just put in the code to go to form 2. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to have to add a form 2 and add a form 3. Alright, so I added form 2 and form 3. And again, I'm in my go to form 2 menu strip. It's my private sub, just like it was a button. And I did the code that I would need to do to go to form 2 and create an instance of form 2 and display that form. Also did the same thing with my menu strip to go to form 3. So now if I run this thing, it comes up. Here's my main menu, navigate forms, go to form 2, takes me to form 2. If I select go to form 3, takes me to form 3. So it looks like it's working out just fine. Now what if I wanted to go add some more menus? The other thing I want to do is I want to show you how to use a timer. So I've got a menu item to start my timer. So I type that in there, I click off of this, and then I'm going to go and set up some code for that. To set up the code for that, I go in, I double click on it, and I've got my private sub for that menu strip. Right now I don't have a timer in my project, so I'm going to go grab a timer and drag it up to my form. And it's a lot like the menu strip in that it doesn't matter where I put it. It's going to appear down here. Now, a timer has two properties that are relevant to you. The enabled property is by default set to false. And the enabled property kind of works, if you think of the timer as a stopwatch, when you set the enabled property to true, it's like you're hitting the button and you're starting that stopwatch. You set the enabled property to false, it's like you're hitting the button again and you're stopping that stopwatch. Now the interval is how fast you want it to go. An interval of 1,000 is roughly equal to about a second. An interval of 2,000 is roughly equal to about 2 seconds. So I'm going to set my interval at 1,000. If I want to put some code behind my timer, what I can do is double click on my timer, and then I've got a private sub for my timer. What I'd like my timer to do is just kind of count up. So I'm going to put a little bit of code in there which does that. Alrighty, let me try to show you what I did. Now, in my menu strip to start timer, all I did is I set timer1.enabled equal true. Remember, the enabled property is like the button on the stopwatch. If I set it to true, it's like me clicking the button and starting the stopwatch. I had to create a little variable. I called it count, set it to 0. But then inside my timer, okay, I double clicked on my timer. Inside my timer, the code that I put, I take the value of count and I just set it to a text box, and then I increment count. Now the way a timer works is every time this timer ticks off, which since my interval is 1,000, this thing ticks off about once a second, what it's going to do is execute these 2 lines of code. So it'll take the value of count, throw it into my text box, update count, and then it does it again. So if I run my little program now, I've got a menu item that starts my timer, and once my timer is started, it just starts going through and putting numbers in the text box. Now how long is it going to do this? Well, it's going to just keep ticking off until I close the run of this program. So however far up it gets is how far up it gets. So anyhow, hopefully this was helpful. Menus are very simple to use, timers are very simple to use, and they're kind of just another tool in our toolbox now that we can use for programming. Hopefully this was helpful. We'll see you next time.